Welcome, everyone. I'm excited to kick off today's presentation titled The Power of Intuition in the Classroom. We'll explore how trusting your inner voice can truly enhance teaching and learning experiences. Over the next few slides, we'll discuss the importance of intuition, share practical tips, and see how it can make a real difference. So let's get started. So here's the question I often find myself asking. Should I trust this inner voice or should I stick to my plan? It's a common dilemma. I keep thinking, could I do this instead? That little voice in my head suggesting a different path, a different approach. But then I have to ask myself, should I just stick to the plan I laid out or should I follow my gut and see where that takes me? This slide highlights a key tension we all face, plan versus intuition. Sometimes our logical plan is solid and well thought out. Other times, our instincts whisper something different, something that might lead to a better outcome. Understanding when to rely on your plan and when to trust your intuition is crucial. It's about balancing these two, knowing that each has its time and place. Remember, this is part of the bigger picture, learning to navigate uncertainty and making better decisions by tuning into both reason and instinct. Every teaching event is different. What this means is that each moment in the classroom presents unique challenges and opportunities. There are no two lessons that are exactly the same, and that's what makes teaching so dynamic. Instant decisions are made second by second, often in response to what students are doing or saying. You have to be quick on your feet, constantly assessing and adjusting your approach. Real teaching happens live and on the spot, not from a script or a pre-planned lecture. It's about being present in the moment and responding genuinely to the needs of your students. That's where intuition comes in, an undervalued but essential teacher skill. Your gut feeling, your instinct, often guides you better than any prepared plan. And that's why developing your intuition is so important. It's the essential skill that enables you to adapt and connect effectively in real time. So, in this presentation, I want to emphasize that being flexible and intuitive is at the heart of great teaching. You can't possibly check the literature for every problem you encounter in teaching. It's just not feasible. Teaching is a live performance, which means it happens in real time with all its unpredictability. No matter how prepared you are, things can change suddenly, and guidelines can sometimes break down when faced with unexpected situations. And that's a key point. So often, instruction books or rigid rules don't work for real people in real moments. Because real people, with their unique responses, needs, and reactions, don't always fit into a neat, predefined box. So, what does this mean? It highlights the importance of being adaptable, understanding that each situation is different, and that your skills as a teacher need to respond to real people and their real responses. This flexibility is what ultimately makes teaching effective and meaningful. It's not magic, it's expertise in action. What I mean by that is, the insights we're discussing don't just happen out of thin air. They come from real, hands-on experience. When you have a deep understanding of your field, those insights naturally bubble up when you need them most. Think of it like a pot of water boiling. The ideas rise to the surface when the conditions are just right. This is what I like to call drawing from your depth of experience. It's about trusting what you've learned over time and knowing that, when challenges arise, the solutions will surface. So, this bubbling to the surface is a powerful reminder that expertise is always there, ready to help you make informed decisions. It's a dynamic process that keeps your work fresh, relevant, and impactful. So, let's think about this idea of suggesting a surprising response. Have you ever noticed that sometimes, when we're trying to understand what a learner is really thinking, the responses they give can catch us off guard? It's almost like they're hinting at something deeper, something they might not even be fully aware of themselves. What is it they're really saying? That's a key question. Often, the quiet, subtle signals they send, those small, quiet voices inside, are the clues we need. And rather than ignoring or dismissing that inner voice, what if we turned up the volume? What if we really listened more closely? Because those quiet signals can tell us a lot about what's going on beneath the surface. By tuning into that inner voice and amplifying it, we can better understand their true thoughts, feelings, and needs. This fits into our overall theme, being more attentive, more empathetic, and more responsive as educators or facilitators. It's about recognizing the power of that inner dialogue and giving it the attention it deserves. So, next time you notice that subtle, quiet voice inside, remember, turn up the volume. So, when we talk about going with your gut, it might sound risky, right? But it can also be really exciting. It's about taking that bold path, trusting your intuition to guide you through uncertainty. On the other hand, intuition often feels sure and reliable. It's that inner voice that tells us we're making the right decision. That's the safe path, the one that feels more comfortable because it's based on what we instinctively know. But here, the key: training. Training helps us develop the skills to really listen to that gut feeling and understand when to follow it. It's about balancing being bold with being prepared. So I want you to remember, be bold and choose your path wisely. Sometimes the most rewarding moves come from trusting that inner voice, especially when it's backed by good training. This is how we grow and make impactful decisions. Trust your spontaneity. It's so important to stay true to your instincts in the moment. When you work moment by moment, you allow yourself to be flexible and responsive to what's happening right then and there. Good teaching isn't about sticking rigidly to a plan. It's about adapting and responding to your students' needs as they arise. Total planning can actually limit your flexibility and make you less responsive. That's why it's crucial to learn how to wean off the plan when necessary. By doing so, you create a more authentic and engaging learning environment, one where spontaneity and responsiveness thrive. Remember, the goal is to connect with your students and meet them where they are, not just follow a predetermined script. All right, now it's time to really jump into the moment. The key here is to create the lessons spontaneously right in the classroom. Instead of sticking to a rigid plan, let your mind wander around the topic naturally. This allows for a more authentic and engaging learning experience. Start by selecting a text, but resist the urge to prepare specific tasks beforehand. The goal is to teach without a safety net, trusting your instincts and being flexible. Embracing this approach encourages spontaneity and helps students see that learning can be dynamic and responsive. Remember, the overall theme is about fostering confidence and adaptability in your teaching. So, when you let go of pre-planned scripts and simply create in the moment, you're opening the door to more genuine interactions and deeper understanding. All right, let's talk about some effective teaching and communication strategies. First, I believe in teaching a class as a poem. That means I want the material to flow naturally, almost like storytelling, so that it resonates with the audience without feeling forced or overly structured. When we do this, we allow the content to speak for itself, giving it space to breathe and be understood on its own terms. Next, achieving clarification under pressure is a key point. Sometimes, in live settings, things get tense or questions come unexpectedly. The goal is to be clear and confident even in those moments. It's about trusting your understanding and your ability to communicate effectively, no matter the situation. I also like to think of teaching as a process, thinking a concept part way through and then feeling the rest of it. It's a bit like puzzle solving, where part of the understanding guides the rest. This approach encourages intuition and confidence in your knowledge. And finally, I want to emphasize being as instinctive as a cat. Cats are naturally curious, responsive, and in tune with their environment. When you teach or communicate, tapping into that instinctive awareness helps you connect more deeply, respond more authentically, and adapt seamlessly to whatever comes your way. So the overall idea here is to be fluid, genuine, and self-aware, letting the material and your instincts lead the way. That's how you create impactful, memorable teaching moments. Do you ever find yourself over-planning because you don't fully trust yourself? It's a common habit, isn't it? Sometimes, we get so caught up in preparing every detail that we forget to rely on our instincts. But here's the question: does all that planning actually lead you to solutions, or does it create more trouble? Trusting your intuition is a crucial part of effective decision-making. When you listen to that gut feeling, it can guide you more quickly and confidently than endless overthinking. So I want you to really think about how much you trust your intuition. Are you giving it enough space to be heard? Or are you drowning it out with doubt and overanalysis? And here's the challenge: yourself. Take a moment to reflect on whether your habits of overplanning are serving you well or holding you back. Because ultimately, trusting yourself is about finding the balance. It's about knowing when to plan and when to trust your instincts. And that's a powerful step toward growth and better decision-making in both your personal and professional life. Thank you so much for being here today. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with a few powerful ideas. First, be bold. Don't hold back, embrace opportunities with confidence and courage. Trust yourself because you have the skills and intuition needed to succeed. Remember, confidence fuels growth. And lastly, embrace the spontaneity. Sometimes the best moments and breakthroughs happen when we're open to the unexpected. These principles are the heart of pushing boundaries and achieving your true potential. So go out there, be bold, trust in yourself, and stay open to whatever comes your way. Thank you again for your time and attention.